Today we are going to be planting potatoes, but we're not using the tubers that you used to seeing when you go to plant potatoes. No, we're going to be using true potato seed. Now I got these from Teton Organics, and what it is the fruit, the dried fruit berry of a potato. So I'm going to be processing these to get the seeds out of them and then germinating them to see what we will get. Now these are a little bit different than planting a tuber. When you use the true potato seed, it usually has a longer season, and because they actually have the genetics to create the fruit, you might actually see the fruit. Now you do not want to eat this because it is poisonous. The berries that are produced are not good for animals or children, so it's really important to keep those away. But yeah, so I got these in an envelope, and they're all just kind of dried up. But when they're on the vine, they're green. They look a lot like a cherry tomato that's green, because they're actually related, tomatoes and potatoes. So this is what the potato fruit look like. They've been dried just for storage. And what I'm going to do to process them is put them in the blender. So I'm going to choose 2 of them just to make sure that I get enough genetic diversity. So maybe this one and this one. They're kind of different colors. Let's see. I've been kind of looking at this one. I don't know. Let's do these 2. And for 30 seconds. There's definitely a lot of debris. And then down at the bottom here, lots of, I guess, seeds. There's still some big chunks, so I'm gonna go a little bit longer. So I've blended them 2 separate times for 30 seconds. And this is kind of what we're looking at. It's kind of just like a bunch of pulp. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Just kind of a lot of pulp, but it really is all on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this out into this tub, and we'll see if we can get the seeds out. There you go. Okay, I see some seeds down there. So I'm going to swirl this around, trying to get all the seeds out, and I'm just going to pour it out onto this paper towel here. All right, so these are my results. So definitely see some seeds, but some of them look like I don't know, there's seeds there. They look very tiny and kind of translucent. And some of them do look like they got cut up a little bit in the blender. But I'm going to save what I can and plant a good amount in a small little area to see what will sprout up. So it's actually the next day, and I'm going to be potting up the little seeds that we got from processing the potato fruit yesterday. So I'm going to be doing a broadcast sowing, and that is just so I don't know how many are going to germinate, and I want to save space. So I'm going to be using this little plastic container I have left over from some stir-fry vegetables. I poked a couple holes in the bottom, and I'm going to use the top at first to help germinate, and then as a saucer once they do germinate. As far as my growing medium, I am using Fox Farm Coco Loco, and it's not a specific potting mix, but I think it's going to do pretty well for me. In past years, I've done a pure potting mix but the fact that they don't have any nutrition in them, I had a little difficulty. I found more success with just a good quality potting mix as long as it was pretty light and fluffy. And this stuff is light and fluffy. It doesn't have big chunks, so it's not gonna get in the way of anything that's trying to come up. And it has perlite in it to keep it light, cocoa coir to retain moisture. So I kind of like this. I'm actually gonna not put this all the way up because I want to use the top on it. So we'll do it like that. Okay. All right, let's do this. You probably want to see more of what I'm doing, so why don't you come down here? So they're tiny. I thought they, oh Lord, where'd it go? There's actually a bunch in here, and they're very easy to kind of just get up. So I'm going to very gently use my tweezers to plant these. I'm gonna go and plant a bunch of them in case they got nicked in the blender, and broadcast sow them and see what we get. All right, let me get something to water that in real quick. All right, there we have it. Our true potato seeds are successfully planted, and now all we have to do is keep them warm, watered, and under light, and see what they do. I hope we have a lot of germination. I'm very hopeful because I believe the seed is fairly fresh. And there's actually a lot more on there. Once I got to scraping them off, I realized it was gonna take a long time with the toothpick. So I went ahead and just scraped them all off, and that worked a lot faster, especially since I am using the broadcast method here. I'm so excited, and I hope you are too. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye for now. Will the potatoes be sprouting with purple eyes and green roots? Actually, that wouldn't be that far-fetched for a potato, especially since there are yellow, purple, white, pink, multicolor. All of the genetics could be in this pot right here, and we could have new varieties coming out too. So that's what's really exciting.